Children, so today I'll be taking the revision of the chapter crop production, whatever you have studied till now, right? So let me just revise. I'll just give you a flowchart kind of a thing, whatever you have studied till now in the chapter, a gist of the chapter, right? So the first, and I'll keep writing the headings, what all you have studied, because it's not impossible to revise the whole chapter in just a period of 10 to 15 minutes. So it will just be a gist of the chapter, a crisp chapter that you are in one go, you are able to see that yes, in the previous classes, whosoever was not there, in the were not able to join the classes, they have an idea what all is there in the chapter. Okay, so see, the first thing which you studied was agriculture. What is agriculture and how India is a agriculture pro country. Okay, and then we talked about how with green revolution, the agriculture in India has risen to this height which we are talking about today. What was green revolution? Green revolution was the a revolution in agriculture which promoted the new seeds, the new machines, and which promoted the growth in the growth of the crops in the country. Then you talked about horticulture, which is in fact you can say the branch of agriculture, and it deals with only the fruits and the vegetables. Okay, the branch which deals only with the fruits and the vegetables. Then you had food crops, which were divided into three types. The food crops, uh, in fact, the crops were divided into three types. Why write the food crops? First were the food crops, then the plantation crops, and then the cash crops. You should know the difference between the food crops, the plantation crops, and the cash crops. The food crops, they generally involve the cereals. Plantation crops are grown at a means large scale. The plantation crops are grown at a large scale. The cash crops are the crops which are not grown at a large scale, but the farmers, they are generally growing it for encashment, for earning money. They are not growing it for general use. Okay, after that, this was the division of the crops on the basis of the land area which is being used, on the basis of the yield which is the crops are growing, but now on the basis of the climatic conditions, climate in which they are grown, the season. In fact, you should write the season in which they are grown. Okay, the division of the crops in the season in which they are grown. One is the Kharif crop and the other is the Rabi crop. You should know, first of all, you should know the two parts. They are divided into the Kharif crop and the Rabi crop. And another is, you should know the sowing and the harvesting season for both. Okay. You should know the sowing and the harvesting season and the example of each type. You should know the sowing, the harvesting season, and one example of each type. So the Kharif crop, it is sown in the beginning of the June and July, and they are harvested in September and October. For example, maize, soya bean, cotton, and Rabi crop, they are sown in the beginning of the winter season and harvested in March and April. And for example, mustard and linseed. These are the points I'm telling you. In this way, you can write the differences also. If you are asked the three differences between the Kharif and the Rabi crop, you can easily jot down the differences between the Kharif and the Rabi crop. This way I am telling you children the outline of the chapter and the way you can answer the questions also. Okay. Then we have the, after we have studied the types of a crop, we have method of crop production. Method of crop production. Okay. These methods we have talked about. And the method of crop production, the idea, the flow chart is given on page number 6. Page number 6, the flow chart is given, and that flow chart just simply gives you an idea. Okay. Now, what is that flow chart? The first thing is we prepare the soil. Okay. And I'll keep taking one by one. The first thing we take is we prepare the soil. How do we prepare the soil? We loosen them, we turn them, we tilt them. Okay, this is preparation of the soil. We loosen the soil, we tilt the soil, and this loosening and turning and tilting of the soil is done by a plow or a tractor or the bullocks, right? This is what we mean by preparation of the soil, and the turning and the tilting of the soil is required so that the air can enter inside. The air, the water, they can enter inside and enrich the soil with the nutrients. Okay. Then the second is selection of the seeds. Selection of the seeds. The plants, the small seedlings or the seeds, they should be healthy seedlings, and the healthy seeds should be selected in order that the growth is very proper. The healthy seedlings and the seeds should be selected in order that our crop is very healthy and gives us a very good yield so that we can earn or have a good crop. Okay. Then you have the third is manuring. Okay. After that is manuring. Now manuring is after we select the, and in selection of the seeds, I forgot to tell you one thing. When you first you select the seeds and then you plant the seeds, and when you plant the seeds, when you sow the seeds, in fact, why I say plant the seeds, when you sow the seeds should be sown at a proper distance from each other so that they do not fight with each other for the nutrients or water or the sunlight. Okay, so that proper sowing should be there. After we sow, we manure the soil. That manure can be of two types. That will be organic or the fertilizers, that is the man-made. Okay, they may be organic or they may be the fertilizers that are man-made. Okay, so then after sowing the seeds, we manure the crops. That can be done with the organic manures, or the man-made manures, that are fertilizers. And now why it is done? It is done in order to replenish the soil with the required nutrients. Okay. Now this, after that, this manuring, either it can be done by using the organic or the organic manures or the fertilizers, or they can be the soil can be replenished by certain methods also which we follow. That is, we leave the field fallow, we leave the field for a season and then grow the new crop rotation. We grow crop in rotation. One crop either it requires nitrogen, one crop either it requires potassium. So this way the crops are rotated. Then mixed cropping. Mixed cropping is we can grow along with any cereal. We can grow leguminous plants which can enrich the soil with nitrogen. So this is also one way of replenishing the soil with the lost nutrients. Okay, I told you about the manures and the fertilizers. Now after we manure or use the fertilizers in the soil, then comes irrigation. We irrigate the soil. Irrigating the soil, that is watering it. Water is the most requirement, the ultimate requirement of the plants to grow. This can they have, you have studied here drip irrigation, you have studied here sprinkler irrigation. You should know the advantages of both kinds. They prevent loss of water. They are used in areas where there is shortage of water. After irrigation, you have weeding. Weeding, what are weeds? Weeds are the non-required plants which keep growing along with the required ones. So we need to remove them because again they start competing with the plants for the fertilizers, for the sunlight. So we need to remove them. and that process of removal is called as weeding. After weeding, you need protection from pests and the rodents. You need protection from the pests and the rodents. How to protect from the pests and the rodents? We will protect from the pests and the rodents by using the pesticides, pesticides, the fungicides. Okay, we will protect the plant from the pests and the rodents by using the pesticides, fungicides, etc. Okay, that is why we need to wash them properly first, the fruits and the vegetables, and then only we use it. Okay, now pesticides and fungicides, here you should know which pests and the rodents they are attacking the plants, and which pesticides, fungicides we are using in order to protect our plants from these. Okay, you should know the names of the pests, the rodents, the pesticides, the fungicides, the weeds. You should uh, means see properly where the names are written, see the diagrams also, there also the names are written. Okay, after that you have harvesting. At last comes harvesting. Harvesting means cutting the crop. Now, harvesting means cutting the crop for selling it in the market. That is done by the harvesters, the threshers, and the means we use our hand techniques also, that is known as winnowing. We do winnowing with the help of the machines also, right? The ladies also do the winnowing process in order to remove the chaff from the proper cereals which we require, that is the wheat or the rice or the pulses. Now, after harvesting, cutting the crop, using the threshers, separating the chaff and separating the chaff from the cereal, then the crop is packed up in the bags, in the silos, and then it goes for storage. And the storage places, they are the granaries or the silos. We use the granaries or the silos for storage. And what is this requirement for storage? It is the storage is in fact used for buffer stock, right? So what is buffer stock? Buffer stock is the stock which is used for later use. Buffer stock is the stock which is used for later use. Okay, later use means, for example, this season we had a good season and a good crop, and the next season the weather conditions, the climatic conditions were not good and the yield was not proper. So when the yield is not proper, in that case we can use that, we can take out from the storage the granaries and we can use that buffer stock. The government is means the government is totally involved in the storage of the um, basic grains which the people require. Okay, so that was the revision till the storage part.